All right, listeners, welcome to One More Game podcast. We are OMG. I am your host, theStroke. I'm here with my good buddy Swiftmida. Today is 5 March 2022 for episode 3. Swift, how is it going, dude?
It's going all right. I'm pretty. I'm not okay, to be honest. It's so I don't know if you know this, but I've grown up a Duke fan
Mm,
um for my entire life, and Coach K has been there for 42 years, which is much longer than I've been alive. Thank goodness.
couple years, but yeah.
So yeah, just barely, you know. Um, but uh, I want to say they did a beautiful tribute to him tonight, and it was awesome. But I'm super upset that they lost to UNC.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a,
it's just
you know, it's,
the classic college basketball rivalry, and they lost. It's like
yeah,
the team couldn't get them their like Coach K's last home win. Come on, guys, what are we doing?
yeah. You know what a good tribute is? Winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough time without that guy. But yeah, we had some. If you're in the
Yeah.
if you're in the chat, thanks for joining us this week. We are excited to bring you some more gaming news, some more gaming commentary, and we are basically the podcast taking the very niche video game realm by storm. So get on board while you can before it goes viral. If you're in the
That's
chat,
right.
thanks for joining us. And yeah, it looks like we got some people commenting on how good, silky smooth your voice sounds this week. Yeah, what you got going on over
Oh,
there?
dude. So I okay. After the past 2 weeks, I uh apologies to my wife Shannon, but we spent a lot of money on just stuff, new mics, there's camera,
Yeah, dude.
there's all kinds of stuff that goes into it. So I'm
Voice.
happy to look way better than I did last week. Hopefully, I mean you can't fix ugly, but uh, at least it's clearer ugly. You know?
Very nice, very nice. And I'm excited that you used your all your investment money from all that Bitcoin that you sold to buy Elgato products. So hopefully we can get
Yeah,
yeah
yeah. Elgato, please, please, please sponsor me because I'm broke after buying all of your things.
cool. Well, we are happy to be here to talk to you guys about all things gaming, and let's get right into our opening story. So, if you were here with us last week, you remember that we caught my son red-handed, my 4-year-old son, playing Nintendo Switch in his bed without telling anyone at 11 at night. So it got me thinking, dude. Now, let's keep this PG-13. But what kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
stuff? What do you remember getting caught doing as a young nerd that you weren't supposed to be doing as a kid?
Dude, keeping it PG-13. Obviously, there's all kinds of stuff, but
No, spo-
PG-13.
no, s- no Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition stories. Let's keep those
Yeah,
out of
yeah,
here.
none of that. Dude, I remember. So when I was, I think I was in my junior year or senior year. We moved to Germany,
Yeah,
and I remember it was the first time that I was introduced to World of Warcraft. So I didn't know what this game was about. My friends explained it to me. I kind of had to like fumble through it. You know how you do as you
yeah,
start learning
yeah.
the game. And um, I remember at one point I was playing. So I would go to school. I would because I was an athlete at least in high school. You couldn't tell these days. Um, but I was an athlete in high school. Um, so I would go to like practice and then I would come home. I would do my homework real quick, which I didn't really try that hard for because, like, whatever, it's high school and we were in Germany and no one really cared. Um, but I would log on to World of Warcraft and then it was bedtime. And my parents were like, all
Yeah.
right, yep, time to go to bed. And I would be like, okay, fine, going to bed. And then all the lights in the hallway would turn off, and I would just hop right back on my computer.
Oh yeah, dude.
Um, Dude, I used to play that game like 7 hours a day. I don't know when I slept. I don't know what is happening, what was happening in my life. But I like and my parents would come back up every like couple hours to make sure that I was asleep because they knew how addicted I was to the game. So that was the first time where I was like, I could probably yeah, I'm
Yeah.
probably in trouble for this.
Yeah, I got a similar story. Well, it's more in my modern life, but other than my parents catching me running like an underground Texas Hold'em ring in my garage when I was in high school, at like 2 in the morning. When I
Gambling from a young age. Love
yeah,
that.
there was like college kids in the garage, and they're like, "What is going on?"
Yeah.
I got my like younger sister in there. Yeah, it was bad news. But
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine, you know?
another story. I was at the Air Force Academy, and these zoomies out there, go Air Force. And my my roommate didn't know that I was such a nerd, right? And so I had a mouse like this, like shipped from Amazon, kind of my freshman year. And I'm still like closet nerd at this point in my security nerddom. And he goes, "Oh, what the heck is that mouse?" And I go, "I don't know. My aunt sent me it. It's kind of weird." But you know, it helps me do math because there's like numbers on the side, you know, trying to make up the story. Well, he comes home early one day from some class that I thought he had, and he just catches me red-handed playing World of Warcraft, and he just starts laughing. And I go, "What's so funny, dude?" And he goes to his computer, and like 10 seconds later, I hear the login screen, and turns out he was also a big nerd. We were just too afraid to tell each other. So, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
don't
Yeah, yeah.
you don't have to hide it from us, chat. We know.
That's
We
right.
we know who you are, and we know who you're not.
Dude, so before we get into anything else, I actually wanted to talk about this. So I, as a sane human being, I did ROTC through
Yeah,
college, which
smart.
is, it's you do the Air Force stuff on like Mondays, and then the rest of the time, yeah, you do like PT, which is, the physical training or whatever. But the rest of the time, you get to live this glorious college experience, which most of us love. Um, so what was it like going through the academy, especially after because I know you mentioned I think last week or maybe the week before that you were enlisted for, a series of years beforehand. So what was it like? Explain your experience at the academy
Um,
after doing that.
Here's how I'll describe it. Loved it. Never would do it again, given the chance. Uh,
Okay, so it's like Kunsan.
yeah, exactly.
It's like Kunsan Air Base
Met,
in
met
Korea. Yeah.
met some of the best friends I've ever made, like my best man, my wife there, like great relationships that I built. But man, 4 years of that is here's the context, dude. When I got accepted to the Air Force Academy, I was deployed. I was in Iraq
Okay.
for the second time, I think, and I got surprise told that I got accepted. I had 2 weeks to get there, so oh crap, I had shown up.
Hurry up and go,
Hurry up,
baby.
get home. I hitchhiked on a C5, showed up at the Air Force Academy 2 weeks later, and boom, I got
and then
17.
and then got and then got hit in the face with a six fucking sorry, excuse me. Uh
Yeah, like
uh
I got this.
an 18-year-old and you're like 20. Like,
He's
dude,
telling me,
I've been doing this.
yeah, he's like telling me what war is going to be like. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, dude. If I hadn't found a good group of friends, I don't know if I would have made it, but I did find an awesome group of guys,
Good.
and met my wife there. So yeah, like I said, loved it. Wouldn't do it again if I had the chance. Uh,
Yeah, of course. Of course not. I'm stoked you made it through because
yeah,
obviously we met through our career and love you to death. So
but if you
happy
do,
you're here.
if you want to be a pilot, it's a great option because about half the class that graduates becomes a pilot. So there's my plug
Oh, at the
for
academy? Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. True. If you wanna be a pilot, go to the Air Force Academy because ROTC sucks. I was the only pilot in my class.
yeah,
It's stupid compared to the academy. So if you
right.
wanna suffer for 4 years to be a pilot, great. If you wanna
Do it.
party your face off and maybe not become a pilot, then great. Up to
Yeah.
you.
There you go. There's your life advice for you youngsters out there.
Yeah.
All right, dude. We'll wrap that up and we'll move on just to let you guys know what this is going to look like. So this will be the last week that I kind of give you a little roadmap of where we're going for the episode. But first, we'll hit you with the gaming news, everything that's going down in the world of video games. Then we'll hit you with the games radar, our special segment that gives you a look and peek into what's coming up next for games and what we're excited about. Then we'll get into the major topic of the week, which this week is going to be in-game cosmetics slash character customization. This was a recommendation from one of our listeners. Jess, thank you for this. And this is going to be a really cool conversation to have.
Yeah,
And
it will
then
be.
and then we'll just hop into what we played this week, BS with you guys for a little bit. And then I'll read you a really cool email that Swift doesn't even know about. And I'll surprise him with that we got from one of you guys, whoever you may
Oh,
be.
we got another.
Yeah. And I don't know who it
Nice.
is. So
I love that.
we're reaching some people. All right. So with that, guys. Oh, Senor Baxter, thanks for the follow, and grab her by the something. Great work. Thanks for the follow. All right. With that, dude, let's get into the news for the week. All right. First up on the docket, we all know what's going on in the Ukraine. We're going to try to, keep it light, keep it fun in here, but we'll talk about this a little bit. So announced recently in the last few days over Twitter and a lot of other sources. So multiple companies, including CD Projekt Red, Microsoft, EA, are stopping games and services in Russia. So this is kind of crazy because Microsoft and CD Projekt Red and EA, they have never done anything to this extent. So stopping distribution of digital assets and products to
Yeah, I mean, why would they?
right. Like,
Because it's just more money for them.
right. So this is if people kind of think this isn't that big of a deal, like, yeah, of course they should do that. It is a big deal because one, the market in Russia for video games is massive. And two, this hasn't happened in a very long time. And at least in the digital age, I don't know if it's happened at all. So, dude, what are your thoughts on not only is Russia being sanctioned by governments, but like individual tech corporations can just be like, nope, sorry, get your crap together and stop being crappy people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. I think that it's smart for some of these companies, and I maybe not smart for them necessarily because they're trying to make money just like everybody else. But it's important to see that these companies are doing that, dude. I like, yeah, cool. The video game companies are doing it, dude. The uh UEFA or
Yeah, yeah,
UEFA, however you pronounce it, the soccer league said they're not going to do any more matches
right,
in Russia. Um, there's been multiple like reports of just gen, general entities saying like, dude, this is messed up. Like, we're not going to do business with this,
right.
and I think it's great. I don't know that the I appreciate the video games doing that. People, like we talked about last week, probably have stuff downloaded that they can play through and all the things, but like, I don't know. It's exciting to see that people are standing behind Ukraine, um, and just the fact that this is kind of absurd for Russia to
Yeah.
just do this.
Yeah, I mean, not that Putin probably cares, but like over time, dude, as people start getting pissed that, I mean, not only that, but Apple and Elon Musk is like supporting what's going on for the Ukrainians. Like at some point,
Yeah,
your people are going to be pretty pissed that they're not playing Destiny on day one of the raid release. So it's
yeah.
it's
I actually have some stuff from Twitter here. Um, just because I feel like it's super important. You mentioned Elon Musk as far
oh
as
yeah,
uh, SpaceX and Starlink, but like Starlink has basically, let's see.
yeah. I got what I remember what you're talking about. He basically said like he was following up to someone talking about how he was doing all these great things for the world when it comes to like landing rockets, and then Russia was shooting rockets into Ukraine. And
Yeah.
his response was, all right, Starlink is now basically parked over Ukraine and giving anyone internet access that
Yeah,
needs it.
he literally parked the whole Starlink system over Ukraine to help these people have access to the internet and all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff. Like it's super cool and good for Elon. I love that dude. I just dude, I will boast on Elon Musk forever because I just got my Tesla and I absolutely love it.
All right. So,
It's so awesome.
Swiftmida is going to be reviewing every game that you can play on your Tesla next week.
Yeah. No, but seriously, I love it. It's oh man.
Sweet, dude. Let's move on. That's if you got any thoughts about what's going on in the Ukraine when it comes to video games and things like that, you guys can contact us on Twitter and Instagram or omgpodcastgg@gmail.com, and we'll bring up your thoughts in the next episode.
Yeah,
All right.
please hit us up.
Next topic. Nintendo Switch is 5 years old. Okay? 5 years old.
Oh, God.
Switch is older than my son. I remember when we were all in Korea when this came out, right? My wife,
Yeah.
bless her heart, I love her so much. She was at a different base than me, which was about 2 hours from us in another part of Korea. And she went, because I was at work, she went and stood in line for the Nintendo Switch for me to pick one up for me on base the day that it came out.
Did she really?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea Jen did that for you.
She's a champ.
Oh
So
my gosh.
yeah, so we were all playing Switch when it first came out. So with that said, we got a bunch of cool Nintendo Switch rumors / news for you guys that we'll show you here real quick.
Yeah.
If you're a big Nintendo Switch fan, I know Stab down there is he was part of this gaming crew, but Nintendo has announced that there's missions and rewards they're going to add to Nintendo Switch Online. So what this kind of means is like they're going to throw some events up there that say like play software that supports online play, and you'll get some Switch Online Platinum points for that, and you can use those points to buy games or buy like customization stuff. What are your thoughts on this, dude? Have you ever messed with the Nintendo Switch Online deal?
I honestly have not. I tried to. Okay, so Shannon will keep me honest. My wife will keep me honest on this. I tried to initially, but I was my credit card stuff got stolen. So my credit card got turned off. So I couldn't because I can't use an Amex to pay for it. So I was like, I was just about to do it, and then that happened.
Yeah.
Um, so I thought about it right then, and I was about to do it. Then I never did. So I've never participated in the like Nintendo like online Game Pass, I guess, if you, as far as you want to
Yeah,
call
I
it.
gotcha. Cool.
Um,
It's
yeah,
kind of janky, dude. I'll be honest. I did it for a little while, and you have to have it to play any of their games online. But if there's one thing that Nintendo does well, it's make good games. And if there's one thing
yep.
they are terrible at, it's anything to do with interface / user friendly systems. So like the
Oh
online
yeah, it's
system
horrible.
is garbage. You can't.
Yeah,
It's 2022, and in order for me to talk to someone online and on Nintendo Switch, I have to use my phone with an app.
yeah, it's really bad. There's really no excuse for it. Like understood, it's not a console, right? It's not a PC. Like it's
Right.
kind of like they kind of it's obviously marketed as a handheld thing. But at the same time, like there should be some integration of something to make it seem like it's not the 2000s.
Right. It is not good.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because they know a lot of younger kids play these games, and they probably want to make it harder. Like they're doing what they think is right to protect that demographic, maybe. But man, if you ever have tried to buy something on that store, it's oh,
Well, it's painful.
it's such a
There's like
deterrent.
there's like 7 menus you have to go through.
Yeah, and it goes enter your password, and then it goes, okay, do you want to spend money? Enter your password again.
Enter your password.
Okay, enter your credit card information. Well, why can't I have this already in here?
Yeah.
Uh,
Enter your credit card information. Oh, also enter your password.
Cool. So we're both on board with how bad that is, but
Yeah.
you think this little online like rewards system is going to help at all?
I don't know. Maybe for people who are like super into Switch or
Yeah.
Nintendo. People that only play those games, people that don't play PC games or play on the PS5 or Xbox Series X, whatever. Maybe it's good for them so they can level up, as it were,
Yeah.
in quotations for the listeners. But I I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a shot in the dark as far as like maybe we'll get some more people, and probably not.
Yeah. Yeah, friend codes is another thing that Pickle Matt brings up. You have to if you want to friend list somebody, they have to send you like this 16-digit hexadecimal code.
It's literally you have to decrypt it before you type it in.
Yeah, it's funny. They're making this mission. This is my thought, dude. They're making this missions and rewards thing to try to get more people to subscribe, I'm sure. I got an idea. If you want more people to subscribe, make it user friendly.
Yeah. How about you just make it simple,
And it's,
and that'll be that.
yeah, cool. More Nintendo Switch rumors slash news. A lot of you have been wondering, are they ever going to make a new Switch? Like an updated version. So there's some leaks kind of coming out that says that there's a possible next gen Nintendo Switch coming out that kind of would be like a pro model if you. That's how all the other consoles do it. They did release like the OLED one, but that really wasn't like a huge step up.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
the
weird.
screen got bigger. They are really nice, but I don't think it's worth like upgrading from your original
Did you
Switch.
did you buy one?
I did not. No.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But yeah, so if you're excited about that, this is all rumor and hearsay, but we just wanted to drop it first. You might be seeing a new Pro model Nintendo Switch come out or be released or announced relatively shortly.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. That being said, with the Switch being 5 years old, I'm gonna drop this on you. I'll start just so that you can
Oh
have some time to
gosh.
think. But it's been
Okay.
5 years and you've had a Switch for about that amount of time. Let's go with our
Yeah.
5 must play games on Nintendo Switch, starting from 5 and ending at 1. So I'll just go real quick. So my number 5 is going to be the Zelda game, Breath of the Wild. I know this game is touted as like people's favorite Zelda game slash game of all time, and there's some cool stuff in there, and I really liked playing it. Two things I didn't think were that great was the story could have been better, and
Story guy. Okay,
yeah, I'm
that'll
a
get
story
you.
guy, dude.
Yeah.
And then yeah, it was just pretty vanilla. But and then the dungeons, while cool to like climb up on those giant beasts or whatever, compared to
Yeah.
other games Zelda dungeons that are super intricate and the puzzles are really hard. Um, I just think the dungeons were kind of lackluster compared to other Zelda games. But
Okay.
that's still like number 5, so don't get me wrong. I really like that game.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I will say though, I never beat it. I just kind of fell off of it. And I
Wow. So never beat it, but still saying
right,
not that good.
yeah, I know, hypocrite.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, cool. Number 4. It's not necessarily specific to Switch, but I think this is the perfect place to play this game if you are going to play this game, and it's a Metroidvania type of game. But Hollow Knight. So if anyone hasn't played Hollow Knight and you like atmospheric, hard, difficult games, get in there.
Oh, dude. Okay. So no kidding. Taze and I were on an airplane going TDY, and he was sitting next to me playing Hollow Knight, and he almost broke his Nintendo Switch because of how difficult this one level was. And I don't think he was endgame or anything. It was just like a typical level. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Like cool, but whoa,
Get in
that
there.
sucks.
Hollow Knight's awesome, dude. Get in
Yeah.
there. Uh, cool. Number 3 is the Pokemon MOBA. I don't know. Have you played this? I think it's called.
I have not.
I'm blanking on the name, but it's essentially League of Legends, but you're Pokemon, and it's free to play.
Oh, I've watched it. I have
Y-
not played it, but
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this game, number one, awesome to play with kids if you got one. It's pretty simple. Like a lot of it's dumbed down. It's not super complicated like League of Legends. But it's the first time I played a MOBA on a controller device that just felt like, why are all MOBAs not on console? This is perfect. Really cool, really fun. And you're playing on. The problem is, in order to play it, you have to have the online subscription. So
Yeah.
there's that.
So good luck with that. $10 a month slash the
Yeah,
whatever.
get that subscription and forget about it. Don't play it for months, just like we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Cool. Number two is the new Luigi's Mansion. I don't know if you guys played Luigi's Mansion growing up on GameCube and 3DS, but those games are so cool, super unique. If you haven't played it, get it. The Switch graphics have never looked better than on that game, and it's also another fun game to play with a young kid because it's spooky fun in the way that Mario does that kind of stuff with the ghosts and whatnot. But it's actually pretty hard for a good gamer to beat. So really cool, a lot of cool stuff to look for. And it's unlike any other game you've played before, unless you played the other Luigi's Mansions. And then lastly, dude, number one, Super Mario Odyssey. And we'll probably have a whole episode dedicated to this game because it's so good. But that's my number one. Get it now.
Yeah, that game is awesome.
What do you got? What are your thoughts?
So dude, I haven't done the deep dive as far as the games are called, or the games in the Switch. Like
Yeah,
I basically played the standard
the mainline
stuff.
ones.
So yeah, so I'm gonna go. My fifth is Luigi's Mansion.
Okay.
I thought it was really cool. I kind of struggled with it because I didn't really know what to do.
Yeah.
So maybe someone that's more story driven and puzzle driven can figure that out. But I was kind of just like, okay, yep, I don't really know where to go from here. I'm just gonna stop playing it.
Just to make you feel really smart, I know a 5-year-old who beat that game by himself.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I know I'm not the smartest for sure.
Most
Like I'm
smartest.
Yeah, I know I'm not, educated as far as that goes, but I just didn't, I don't know, I didn't really get into it. So, that's my fifth, and which is good for,
Yeah.
there's a lot of games on the Switch. So, fifth is not bad. Fourth, I think you probably hate me for this. It's not story driven, it's not anything else. It's Donkey Kong Country.
Oh yeah, dude, classic.
Because I love the Donkey Kong games. So
Yeah,
I couldn't resist buying this game. I couldn't resist playing it. It's so fun. There's, the
Tho-
classic Donkey Kong when you're in the cart rolling around the track and you have to figure out when to jump and when not to jump. Like, I don't
those
know.
games are
It's
hard, like not
very,
easy.
very difficult. Yeah. Um, so I really enjoyed that game.
Nice.
Again, kind of a basic answer as far as this goes, but um, a Nintendo classic. So I had to throw it on the list. Um, my third is Pokemon Sword.
Okay.
I played a lot of Pokemon Sword. I haven't beaten it yet. I'm beaten 6 of the however many bosses.
Yeah.
It's fun to be, yeah, like third person, like the game, like Game Boy game was, but at the same time, it's kind of, it's 3D and you're just wandering around the wild
Yeah.
wilderness and
Same formula, but
um,
it looks really good, kind of thing.
yeah. And the thing that I don't like about these games these days is, we talked about in the first episode, I think, is, dude, I remember 150 Pokemon, and I could probably tell you most of them if you gave me a hint. But now there's so many that I don't really understand. So like when I throw a Pokeball at somebody that
Who is that?
some random thing in the wilderness, I'm just like, okay, I hope it's good, and that's that. Um,
Yeah.
Second, I have Zelda Breath of the Wild.
All right.
I know you didn't tout it all that
I mean, I played
mightily.
a lot of Switch games, so 5 is Still really good.
Yeah. Um, Zelda, I thought was really well done. I like the open world concept as far as wandering around doing the thing. It's again kind of like Donkey Kong as far as the vein of the
Yeah.
game.
The prestige.
Like yeah, like it's kind of the same thing that you've been doing for years, but I thought it was pretty well done. I also have not beaten the game. I
Mm.
got distracted, built a PC, and then started with this. So
I find that
I have
game very difficult to jump back into if you haven't played it in a long time. Like to jump in where you were. Have you tried to play? Like multiple
and
times, I've tried to restart, or not restart from the beginning, but just like hop back in and beat it, and no idea what's happening with the buttons.
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem, and not necessarily a problem. Like you should honestly know a game, and you know continue to know a game if you're gonna beat it. Like that should be the goal, right? If you're gonna beat a game, you should be intimately familiar with the mechanics and
Right.
everything. So if you're gonna leave it for a year and then try to hop back in and beat the final boss, like that shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
Um, but dude, I'm the same way. I literally I got off for a little while, and then tried to come back and couldn't really not necessarily understand it, but couldn't figure out the mechanics of certain things, and I was just like, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that
Agreed.
that's good.
So what's in your
Uh,
top spot?
the top spot. Same Mario
Yeah.
Odyssey.
So good.
It's dude, it's one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Uh, it's outstanding how they did it. So fun. Super simple for like I wouldn't say simple as far as um collecting things and
Right.
all the intricacies, but like my sister bought a Switch for her.
Right.
Well, I think for her, but my nephews beat Mario Odyssey. And
Yeah.
they're 5 and 3. So it's not a like crazy game to get into, but the intricacies of it are cool. Just the gameplay overall is it's awesome. It's really well done.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
We talked about it last week. What would we recommend to people who are just jumping into the video
Yeah.
game world? This is my
Yes.
number one recommendation because it'll just
Absolutely.
it'll make you realize how much of an art it and really just cool it is. So, yep.
Yep.
We both agree. If you don't understand how good that game is by the fact that we both said it was our number one game on the Switch, I don't know what you're doing. You got to turn this podcast off. Go get that game right now. Okay, don't do that, please. But
Go
get that
buy a
game.
Switch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. I thought that was fun just to talk about 5 years of Switch and our 5 favorite games. So let's
Yeah.
move on to our next piece of news. So this is a big news for all of us in
Oh
this gaming
yeah.
group. But Destiny 2, today, the first raid of the Witch Queen expansion is live. We've been grinding. We've been grinding to get up there to 1530 to get in this raid, right? Which we still
And
have yet.
I know listeners that can't see us, can't see me shaking my nugget enough, but cheapers.
You got to grind, dude. You got to get up there.
It is brutal.
It's fun, okay? Cool.
Okay.
So the first raid came out today, and if you guys don't know, whenever Destiny releases a raid, they do this huge world's first race. So all these teams around the world try to be the first team to finish this very complicated, long encounter based dungeon type thing,
Yeah.
and they don't have any idea how to beat it. Like Bungie, the developer, doesn't release any hints or anything, and it's just 6 people trying to figure out over the course of a day how to beat this thing. And the first people to do it, they get sent these WWE style belts with their gamer tags engraved on them, and they're basically famous for the rest of their lives.
And for people that don't, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No,
for
you're good.
people that don't understand that slash have never played an MMO, people who are not familiar with video games, like there are multiple bosses. So there's all kinds of things that you need to kill, right? There's little ads, there's big ads, and ads is just like
A monster.
random people that are not people, but random things around the map that like you need to get rid of, right? So there's little ones, there's big ones, and then there's the boss. And there's multiple bosses in this, and for each one of them, you have to figure out specific mechanics. And so it kind of goes back to WoW as far as like if like you have to figure out how to beat the boss because there's different things that he does during different stages that potentially everyone could die very quickly, right? So you as a team of 6 have to figure out how to do this. So the fact that people are racing, and again it reminds me of WoW when we would watch the world first as
Right.
far as raids. But it
I
but
I
it
don't
is.
I don't know
Yeah, go ahead.
if anyone in the chat is tracking, but I think so. They started at 10 a.m. this morning Pacific, and I don't think anyone's beat it yet. So
I haven't seen anything.
we're talking 12 hours later, and people are still grinding. So
And these are dudes that not
pl-
only are extremely good at the game, but are also have been in their chair since 10 a.m.
yeah,
Right? Like they may take a quick run to the bathroom while they're hiding behind a corner, and the rest of the team is fighting. But other than that, like they have been doing this since 10 a.m.
yeah, kind of
and it
crazy.
still is not done. It's absolutely crazy.
It's where we finna to go right after this podcast and give it a shot. Maybe we'll be
Yeah.
the first.
Yeah,
And
we
you,
are. We are. We're gonna give it a shot. We have
yeah,
uh 5 or 6 maybe ready to go. And we're gonna give it a shot and just see what it's about after this. So we'll give you a shout out next week as far as
how we did,
yeah,
lessons learned.
how how we probably died 17,000 times.
Yep. Let's do it. All right, cool. So check
Yeah.
that out if you're interested in Destiny 2 content. Moving on. So some Lost Ark news. They just released an article today that said that Lost Ark developers have banned over 1 million illegitimate accounts from the game. That's insane.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people making fake accounts to play a game. What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
this crap on cheaters in modern gaming? Like, are you just tired of it?
Um, I could get into a whole diatribe about this, but um, I'm I think people that cheat in general, yeah, not okay. Um, People that cheat in video games, again, not okay. I'm not gonna say anything like aggressive about them. Yeah, they shouldn't be doing it, and it's upsetting because there's really no reason for it. Just either play the game and get better, or just stop playing the game.
Right. I
So
just I don't understand.
yeah, like why is it fun for you to click on your right mouse button and auto focus to somebody's face and kill them? Like that's not skill. That's just lazy.
Yeah.
So either get good at the game or stop playing it. Um,
Yeah, and
and
these type of games are very vulnerable to this type of stuff because it's all about time, right? Like to progress, you have to put in hours to, you know, grind out the gear and the rep and the currencies and all that.
right,
So you remember, like, that's one of the major reasons I stopped playing WoW was because it seemed like the only people playing anymore were people trying to sell you gold, fake gold for real money. It's like
right.
this kind of stuff is just getting old. But
Yep.
I'm hoping that Lost Ark kind of it's a good sign that they're banning this many accounts, but it's also a bad sign that there's a need to ban that many accounts. Um, so
I
I
don't
hope,
know. I feel like there's people all over that
yeah,
wanna cheat and instead of pay for it in the store, which again I wouldn't do, but would like to earn it. Instead of doing all of either of those things, they want to just cheat, and it's not cool. And I'm super stoked to hear, like honestly, that they're. I, I'm very excited that they are actively, going against
Yeah.
this.
Warzone has a
You know,
terrible, terrible problem with
as
cheaters.
opposed to like waiting until people complain. Like no one's complained about cheaters in Lost Ark, but Lost like the developers are like, no, we know there's cheaters. We're gonna ban them.
Yeah.
As opposed to I feel like a lot of other uh creators that are just like, yeah, we'll let it ride until we get enough complaints.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I hope that doesn't kind of play negatively on that game because it's a really fun game, which we'll get into
No,
here in a
please
little
play
bit.
Lost Ark. If you have a PC, please play Lost Ark. It's so fun.
Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. That is the news in the gaming realm for this week. And we will move on to our games radar. All right. So, in a surprise that nobody saw coming on the last Nintendo Direct, they just released Pokemon Arceus, right? Pokemon Legends Arceus. The new
Yeah.
the new wave of what Pokemon should kind of start looking like.
Yeah,
And
I started to play it.
And then last week, or this at the
And
beginning of this
then
week, they announced the next back to the old formula games, Pokemon
yeah.
Violet and Scarlet, which includes a whole new generation of Pokemon that you have to memorize or not. And so that's the first big new blip on the games radar is a new Pokemon game coming out this year, Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. There's a trailer that you can check out, which we won't show here because Nintendo doesn't play well with DMCA stuff. But yeah, dude, what are your
Dude,
thoughts? You said you like Sword
I'll
and
be
Sword.
I'll be honest. I'm so stoked about this. Just kidding. I'm not. Like
he's,
I'm
he's,
I'm kind of I'm kind of over
he's
the
over it.
whole like do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like I yeah. Hope
Well,
I
you,
don't know. Hopefully there's some cool Pokemon in there for you guys to catch and it'll be cool. But yeah, no. No.
not your cup of tea, huh?
No, I'm so over it.
Cool. Well, you got that to look forward to if you are a big Pokemon player. And then lastly, the only game really coming out for the rest of the month that we haven't talked about that some of you might be interested in is a little game called Tinytinas Wonderlands. So if you haven't
Oh,
played Borderlands 1, 2, or 3, this is kind of a spin-off of that. Take a look here. So this is some of the gameplay, and this is coming out towards the end of the month, I think on the 22nd. But it's basically a first-person shooter that's built in like a fantasy type realm. The Borderlands games I thought were really good, if not kind of repetitive, but they're lighthearted, they're funny, and they play really well. And this is kind of their fantasy type spin on it. So it's not in the same kind of universe. It's like 100% fantasy realm as opposed to the Borderlands games were like kind of this weird post-apocalyptic first-person shooter thing going on.
yeah.
But dude, to me it looks pretty cool. What are your thoughts?
I'm very confused just watching the gameplay. So I read Tiny Tina. Yeah, what's it called? Tiny Tinas? As
Yeah,
like uh this is like a
happy fun game.
character character game or like an animated game or something. And I watch the gameplay and I'm just like, well, obviously it's not that.
Yeah,
But I have also never played any of the Borderland games.
right.
So I don't know. I feel like maybe it'd be cool. Um I just really have no perspective on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll definitely be a fun uh, shooter type game. If you haven't checked out Borderlands 2, at least that game is ranked up there pretty, probably like top 10 shooters of all time. Uh, so
Okay.
we'll see.
All right.
I think a lot of
Well,
people are
I've
excited for
never,
this, but
so
yeah,
I'll try it out.
that'll be your last blip on the games radar for the month. And without any other thoughts from Swift, we will move on to our major topic of the day.
Yep.
Sweet guys, we are going to talk to you today about a serious issue that's affecting one out of every 10 players. Actually, it's everyone. In-game
It's
cosmetics
everyone.
and character customization. This was brought to us as a topic idea by Jess last week. Thanks for that. And we thought that was
Yeah.
a really cool thing to talk about and spend some time getting into, what our thoughts are on like making your dude look cool in a video game and where that kind of came from and where we see that going and all that.
Yeah.
So, dude, just to start off, let's think back to when we were youngins. We were pubescent little boys
And I can barely remember.
trying
So
to
long ago.
trying to impress the girls with our games, our gaming abilities.
No, I was trying to avoid the girls to
Yeah.
play video games.
Yeah. He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Yeah.
Cool. Just kidding, ladies. All right. So I'm trying to think back to the first time I played a game where I was like actively thinking about like changing my person's clothing or how they looked. And I think the first thing I arrived at was Ocarina of Time. You remember when you could change his tunic red, green, and blue depending on what you needed
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah.
And like
Yeah.
you wore the red one so the fire didn't hurt you, but you also wore it because it was the coolest one.
Because it looked dope.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looked dope. So yeah, Link was just strolling around looking awesome because you were worried about what he looked like rather than how you were playing the game.
Yeah.
Can you think of any other examples early on? When did we
Dude,
start caring
early
about?
uh dude, I don't know. Early on, I don't think I know it. Honestly, I think the first time that I started caring was wow.
Yeah, I mean that's what that game's all
Um,
about. We'll get into a little bit of like how that's what WoW is collecting cool stuff for your dude.
yeah, I think early on I was so obsessed with like just Super Mario 64, all the things where you couldn't customize or anything, you just had to do the thing. That I didn't really worry about it. But
Yeah,
then when I got into WoW, that that was like not only was I trying to beat dungeons, but I
you
want to
gotta
look
you
good
gotta look
doing
good at
it.
doing it. What kind of mount you
That's
riding on?
right.
That's all that really matters.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool. Oh yeah, someone brought up a good point. Tiger Woods. Remember caring about what hat and pants you were
Oh,
wearing?
that's true. Yeah, yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, what
You
clubs you
had you
had?
had to pick your outfit. That's valid. Blue
Cool.
Kirby,
It's
Joe
kind of.
says
Oh
in
yeah,
Super
Super
Smash.
Smash. Yeah,
Yeah, you could pick your uh outfit as it were as
yeah,
Kirby.
yeah. And what kind of hat Pikachu was wearing? Yeah, I remember that. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. In the same kind of vein, not really like your player per se, but in Halo, you remember Halo 2 when that was the big online game and you could customize like your logo and your nameplate and stuff to look really cool.
Oh
spend
yeah.
I remember spending way too much time concerned about what my logo looked like.
I think that was probably one of the first to do it. And now
Yeah.
I feel like more the majority of the FPS slash MMO games, do it where you can't really customize, but you get to pick, how kind of cool you think you look.
Yeah, it's all about it's like creating an identity that your enemies will remember next time they see
Yeah, exactly.
it.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
I remember the first time in my video gaming life having envy of other players. This was
Because of their skin?
because how they looked. I don't know if
Yeah.
anyone in the chat can guess what this game is, but you remember you logged in. This is one of the first computer games I ever played too. You logged in to the original BattleNet launcher, and you logged into Diablo 2 on your 56K modem, and you got to see all the little avatars of people playing, and you got to see all their cool stuff they were wearing. First time I had envy of digital envy. Yeah.
Dude, I never played Diablo 2, but I will tell you. So one other game that we haven't really mentioned is um, what, sorry, what's it called? Um, Rocket League,
Rocket League,
dude.
your car.
Yeah, your car, where you can just customize that thing
Yeah,
to whatever you want and try to make it cooler than all the other, all the other cars. Like, I
yeah,
feel like you
agree.
feel really, really special, cool if you unlock skins or whatever. Based on what we talked about last week, you probably
Yeah,
bought some skins.
yeah. That's
You
the pay
know,
model nowadays.
yeah,
Cool. So that's kind of our general history of it, dude. I agree um, with everything you said there. So where are we now, and kind of how did we get here? I think you're right. MMOs, WoW being the biggest one, obviously, probably had the biggest
yep,
influence on this.
yeah,
Because that's what it's all about. If you really boil it down to what you're doing when you're playing end game World of Warcraft, transmog is the like actual end game that you care about. Yeah, you're trying to get your item level up higher and get cool stuff that makes you stronger, but what you really care about is how you look.
yep, absolutely.
And
Yeah,
they
I mean,
didn't.
you can be a big dog in the dungeons and stuff, but if you look like a
Yeah,
random dude off the street,
right.
then no one gives you respect. But
Yeah.
if you do the same thing and you have like lightning coming off your sword and stuff, as far as transmog, like you have super cool gear, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, this dude knows what he's doing," and it literally has nothing. Like you could literally have no idea what you're doing and have awesome gear
And people are like, "Oh, he
versus
he knows what he's doing."
yeah, he knows what he's doing versus I know everything about this game and just haven't spent the time to do transmog and look like a basic person, and people will be like, scoff.
Get him out of here. Have him
Yeah,
removed.
like
Remove him
that guy
immediately.
does not deserve to be here.
Yeah, that's how it goes, dude. Yeah, and it's expanded right to more than just what you look like now. Like there's emotes, there's voice
Yeah,
lines. Like if
yeah, yeah.
you think about Overwatch, my
There's
wife
killing moves.
killing
There's
moves.
yeah,
It
there's so much.
it's all about collecting all of that stuff so you can look way cooler than the guy next to you. My wife is obsessed with Mercy skins, like to the point.
She's our best healer we've ever had,
Yeah, hands down.
hands down.
To the point of to make her happy for Christmas, I bought her a Mercy skin that came out for breast cancer awareness. Like you had to pay real money for the singular skin, and she was just like elated, and she wears that
Was
thing
it a was it a cosplay?
maybe. All right, so
Anyways,
yeah, we got some listeners saying they give them some dance moves and some hot fashion, and they're in. Uh, I know you
yeah,
played. I know you've been playing a little bit of Final Fantasy 14 here and there. That game takes transmog to a whole new level. Like
yeah,
it's,
oh
I
yeah,
think they call it glamour in that game, but it's kind of complicated to figure out. But they got some crazy stuff in that game. Like you can roll around in a sports car that flies. So confused.
dude. Actually, now that we're talking about that, I know I sent you this in the chat the other day, but the in Destiny, I saw like a Harry Potter broom, and I
Perfect.
want one.
Perfect
How do
example.
I get that? How do
Yeah.
I get that?
Anyone in
I
chat
want it.
knows how to get the Nimbus 2000 in Destiny, tell
Please,
us.
yeah, please give me the firebolt in Destiny, and I want it.
Yeah, it's so cool. All right, so I know who the king of this type of stuff is these days, which it's not a game that neither you and I play, but Fortnite, right? This company, this game is the king of throwing cosmetics at you that you didn't even know you wanted until you saw it, right? So let's get let's get some examples of what you can be in Fortnite. You can be Spider-Man. You can be Ariana Grande. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
you can be Deadpool. Like you can literally be anything you can think of in pop culture.
How do they get the rights to all that?
this company just makes deals. Like,
Oh my goodness.
think about this.
Dude, I'll be honest, well, okay, I won't say I never. Um, I have played Fortnite, but it was way back in the beginning
Yeah.
of it, like, its kinda release, and I just could not keep up with the building and stuff, so I can't. I stopped.
Yeah. Listen to Pickle Matt. I bought stuff on Fortnite for the Mandalorian skin. Not proud of myself. Like, uh, this game, and I think this game is kind of going to lead us into the next topic about this, but the future of gaming is leading to a world that's not just the game that you're playing. So Fortnite now does like live concerts and stuff like while you're
He
online. So
he
like you
doesn't
can
even play Fortnite.
Nice, dude. So like you can go attend a live concert from Marshmello or said musician, right? In the game. And so everyone's wearing all their hot gear at some festival in a fake world. And I think there's
Dude,
some
it's the metaverse, you
I'm
know?
telling you,
That's what they're trying to start.
we're going
Ready
into
Ready Player One.
we are going into a world where it makes you wonder, right? At some point, there's going to have to become a way to create a legal, like, will and testament of what you digitally own. So, like, when I die, I pass on all the skins that I own to my good buddy
Yeah.
Swiftmida,
Yeah, right?
and he now owns my account. Like, there's going to have to be lawyers that have to invent a whole new set of law to
Dude, so Joe just said me and Eats saw Marshmallow Live on Fortnite.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, was it really live? Uh, I don't know.
Yeah, the metaverse is here, folks. Whatever that means, that phrase gets thrown around, but I like to think about it like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Meta lawyers. There it is, dude. Pickle Matt has coined it. Meta lawyers. All right, dude. So let's talk a little bit about the future. Chat, if you've got any other thoughts or any other concepts you think we haven't talked about, go ahead and send us an email, omgpodcastgg@gmail.com, and we'll talk about it on the next episode. But we'll just move on to our thoughts on where this is going. So already, right, we're at a place where every game you buy comes with a battle pass or something that kind of drip feeds you cosmetics.
Yeah. Not
So
only that, but like if you don't own the battle pass, then you can't claim this, and you're just like over and over and over. So eventually, I feel like most people are like, "All right,
I got to get the battle pass.
I'm gonna buy it."
Agreed. Uh, so I think we're going to basically arrive in a world here in the next 20 years where you don't buy a game that doesn't have in-game cosmetic purchases. Like that's
Yeah.
that's what happens.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit of a weird thing in the digital world right now. That's NFTs are called non-fungible tokens. In a lot of the world, they're kind of
Weird.
scammy. So this is based off of cryptocurrency and blockchain technology, but it basically can assign a very secure, like I own this type of licensing to digital assets. So think I can buy a piece of art digitally that only I own and have the rights to. And people are kind of getting scammed all over the world with this kind of stuff right now. Cool.
Yeah.
That stuff sucks. What are your thoughts about a world where you can play a game and the developers make this thing, this in-game item that drops once in a lifetime, and you're the guy that owns it, and now you have the cryptological rights to that item, and nobody can ever take that from you?
Oh. Okay. Um, I don't I don't know. Dude, I don't know a lot about NFTs. My wife, I hear when I'm up here gaming, she's downstairs talking to companies about NFTs, and I literally know nothing about it.
Yeah.
Um, so it's tough to wrap my mind about as far as, like, I guess the whole premise is, hey, owned a if you were the first one to own a digital copy of, like, the Mona Lisa, then you can make money, and I don't know how
Right.
that works. I
Yeah.
just don't really understand it, so, um,
You just gotta say
I also
blockchain,
don't
dude.
understand. Yeah, dude, yeah, crypto. Brr. Um,
Blockchain technology.
but, I also I don't know, I feel like it maybe be cool if that was something that you could mine for, I guess. I don't really understand how it connects to modern day society and how you would claim it because I feel like there's a lot of people doing this thing.
Right.
So I don't know. It'd be I feel like it'd be really difficult to if people are actually like mining for this, it'd be difficult to see who got there first or
Yeah.
did the thing first. I mean, there's a lot of things. So if you're trying to assign, like, it's kind of like Destiny, like we're talking about, like first world or first ever in the
Yeah.
world, right? Um, so it's kind of like that where it's like, but there are multiple people doing this at the same time, and who knows who based on video lag and all the things, who got there first. I'm sure there will be a, like, no kidding, clear first world defeat of this raid,
Right.
but I'm just saying it I feel like it could get a little bit weird.
Yeah, I agree. Here's two things I know that will happen with these things. Gaming companies will try to make money off of it,
Oh, always.
and gamers will use their money on it.
Yeah, and people will buy it. Yeah, valid.
So I just think it's inevitable that this stuff starts like it's a perfect marriage. Video gaming is online, cryptocurrencies and non-fungible tokens. It's going to find its way in there, and the beginning of it is going to be terrible and scammy, and you're going to be people are going to get swindled out of money. But
Yeah.
I do think that there is something to be there is a cool like hypothetical that you could see where like the piece of gear that drops is legitimately a one of a kind thing and you have it and you can do with it what you will kind of thing. Like think about in WoW if every single thing that dropped was a very unique thing and that it would create this trade ecosystem that would be really neat if it was done right without taking advantage of people. Um, but yeah, we're going to see it whether you like it or not, I think. Square Enix, the Final Fantasy developers, have already talked about possibly bringing NFTs into Final Fantasy. I don't know. I, we'll see. I think that's the future of kind of cosmetics, though, is like trying to advertise to you the very prestigious, uh, one-off type. You're the only person in the world to have this thing that doesn't exist, kind of thing. But we'll
I
see where
also
it
don't
goes.
think it's a I also don't think it's sustainable,
Right.
right? Because there's no way, and I don't know how many people play Destiny or Elden Ring or Lost Ark, but I feel like there's hundreds of thousands of people that do that, like, there's no way you can truly create, like, a unique thing for
Yeah.
one person.
They wouldn't. Here's what they would do. They would say one of 500, and then each one has its own.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Um, so and then again, it gets kinda weird because, like, there's no true way to say, "Yep, you are the only person that owns this."
Right. Well, that's that's what they're that's what they're saying with NFTs, but we'll see. To me,
Yeah, I know.
it all feels very scammy, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see.
Cool. There is some VR implications in there. Imagine a VR metaverse realm where you go to a fake car dealership to buy a NFT backed Ferrari in your little virtual world, and now that car is yours, and you can sell it for real funds. And it's going to be a strange place if this metaverse thing ever catches on. But Cool.
Yeah, I'm a little too old for this. I mean, it's exciting.
Yeah, we'll see.
But yeah, we'll see what's going on.
You'll have to convince me that the world is ready to wear TVs on their eyes for more than an hour at a time in their life.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you talked about it last week as far as getting
yeah,
sick on it. Like,
yeah,
I feel like most of the population is gonna be like, nah, I'm good.
yeah. Oh, by the way, real life exists. Like my 5-year-old doesn't care that I'm wearing a
Yeah,
VR headset.
exactly.
Cool, guys. That is all things that we have to talk about in-game cosmetics and how you customize your stuff. The big picture thing to remember is that don't play a game if you're going to look stupid and boring. You got to look cool. You got to look
No,
badass.
yeah. If you're playing a game, like, look dope.
Yeah. And if you try to
Like,
get invited by
don't
us
play a game. Don't
to
play a
look dope,
game to look cool. If you're super interested in a game, then do it and do it big by looking really cool.
really cool, which you'll see us
Yeah.
in Destiny doing after we beat this raid tonight.
Oh, you're right about that.
All right, guys, let's get into what we played this week.
All right.
All right, no surprise to you guys, but I've been playing a lot of Destiny this week. Destiny 2
Dude.
has taken over my video game life.
It's so bad.
It's so fun, though.
I know. I love it. It's so fun. But it is literally taken over our lives, basically.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll be fine. We'll get burnt out and we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll get through it. Hey, viewers and listeners, don't worry. We'll get through it
Together as a team.
together. That's right.
All right, dude. Other than that, I did play a little bit of Lost Ark. Probably got a couple more levels in there, 2 or 3 levels.
Nice.
And I'm ready to kind of walk back off the cliff a little bit more about the longevity of this game.
Okay.
Okay, so especially after having talked to my good buddy Easy today, he's like level 52, and so I kind of
dude's killing it. It's literally
grinding.
the only game he's played for like 2 weeks.
I'm pretty sure he's playing right now.
He was earlier. He's not anymore. It doesn't look like, but
Okay, so what he said was, and he's a huge Diablo 3 guy, right?
yeah.
He's made it to close to the end game level stuff, but he goes, dude, I played this game pretty much nonstop since it came out, and it's really fun, and I'm having a great time. But what I'm starting to discover is there's so much going on with like everything that he doesn't know what's going on. Like with all the systems and all the currencies, and it's just like he's like, I'm constantly learning about all the stuff in this game. And he's like,
dude, yeah.
He goes, I see no way that I'll ever be able to stop playing this game because it's so massive.
Yeah, and that's what I told you guys, like, not you, but Tyler and Anthony from the beginning. Like, it is a massive game. The fact that he's 52 or whatever it is and still can't figure out
Right.
what exactly is going on. I think I'm level 33, and I have new things that I can't necessarily. I'm like, wait, how do I do that?
Yeah.
And it's just gonna stem from there because there's just so much in this game to accomplish slash do every day, and I think that's kind of the biggest thing is I think this game is meant for more of the people who are like the WoW
Yeah.
allegiance that like grind all like 12 hours a day,
Yeah.
and good for you for doing it, but most of us can't do that. So I just think there for the majority of people, there's just so much to learn in the game that you can't really keep up with all the
Yeah. I
things.
agree. And that's probably what's going to make me fall off of this game is that I'm just not going to be able to dedicate the time that I would need to see all the stuff that I would want to see.
Yeah.
But I
And
mean,
it's sad, but it's not sad at the same time because there's again, for people who love it, love the experience, it's great because
yeah,
you can do infinity things, right?
agreed.
But for people who, aren't in for the daily grind, who are workers like us that just log on, you
Play
know,
for
six
30
six to
minutes.
nine or 7 to 10 every day, and are just like, let me find something entertaining to play. It's probably not the
Yeah,
game that people are going to keep playing.
yeah. But I do think it's going to last much longer than I thought, so to speak. So
Oh, I think so too.
cool. But I'm not quite ready to completely get rid of my prediction. So
All right.
we'll keep that up there. Cool. A user recommended or a listener recommended game I played just a little bit, and we'll kind of show some of this.
Okay.
This game is a puzzle game. It was recommended by Pitwob423, and it's called Superliminal. And if you like puzzle games like Portal or what was the other one? I can't remember what it's called, but just kind of like trippy, mind-altering puzzle type stuff, changing perception and whatnot. This game is super weird. So
Super weird
yeah, super
or
weird.
super fun? Okay.
Super liminal. Okay, watch. So you're going around in this like puzzle type world, and you pick items up, and based on your perspective on how you're currently viewing them, it changes like the size of objects and their mass and their weight. And this is the multiplayer, but I haven't played all that much of it. But I just wanted to tell Pitwob that it was a really cool recommendation because he knew I liked Portal, and it just if you like puzzle games that change and you have to figure out a really mind altering way to solve a puzzle, uh super cool game, pretty cheap on Steam. But I just wanted to throw it out there that I played that. And
Okay,
then
that I'll be honest, that looks so confusing.
it is the
I don't know
first
what you were doing with the dice or the chess pieces or anything. Like, I was so confused.
the first time you pick something up that's small and you change the way you're looking at it, and then you drop it and it's for some reason massive.
Yeah.
Cool. Really fun game. Just lighthearted and easy to pick up and just kind of figure stuff out. And then lastly, just a little, I'm going to probably get into more of reviews on this stuff in the future as we talk about VR. But I did try the Metaverse or Meta, whatever they're calling themselves, their Horizons game. So like their Metaverse app. You kind of make an avatar and customize all your stuff. And I spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to make someone that looks exactly like me in the metaverse,
Yeah,
uh, with the big schnoz and whatnot. Uh,
yeah.
but it's cool because you can run around all these little like user created areas and play stuff that users have created. So like people have made all kinds of stuff based off of like real games, but you're experiencing it from like your perspective. Think like um, asteroids, like your first person playing asteroids, all created by users online. So there's some
Yeah.
cool stuff to check out in there. It is kind of, I will say, full of children screaming on their headsets. So th-
Well, I
uh,
feel like that's kinda standard these days in any game,
yeah, I think VR is
but
suffering a lot from kids. Not that there's
yeah.
anything wrong with kids, but
Yeah.
cool. All right, man. That's what I played. How about you?
Dude, so as I kind of alluded to, slash, I played a lot of Destiny, and
Not enough.
I played a lot of Destiny so that I could be in the raid, right? Which originally I heard was 1530. And so I did the whole quest line. Pace helped me with that. Um, I've done a bunch of bounties, but I'm literally leveling up like one piece of gear every hour and a half. So I'm not
You're
quite
doing something
to
wrong, dude.
I'm not quite to 1530. Apparently I'm doing something wrong. Um Yeah, and I wish you would help me out with that because apparently you're being rude. But um, Destiny has been it's so fun. Obviously, I've been doing the campaign. I did the campaign, the gambits, the crucible. Um, all of them are really entertaining. I just wish I was leveled up faster so that I could do this raid because we're gonna try to start doing it this evening slash tomorrow morning with our group here at Bonsai Gaming, which we haven't really shouted out, but that's our Discord. So
Yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I think you'll be all right. We got you.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll be. I'm sure I won't die. You know,
Oh,
1100 times.
you gonna die. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna die a lot, but
All right.
eventually I'll get there. So
What else? Do you get into
and then
anything else?
and then so I played a little bit of Lost Ark. Honestly I didn't play a ton. I played with Easy and Tyler, um, but I'm still like level 31. I didn't get into it enough to talk about anything new. So it's been mainly grinding Destiny to get to this to be able to raid
Yeah, I'm
this
for it.
weekend.
I approve this
Yeah.
message.
Yeah.
Cool, dude. Cool. That's what we played this week, guys. Now let's get into something really cool. I haven't told Swift about this yet, and you guys are just killing it when it comes to the support you're pouring out. But
What do we got?
we have another email from a listener. I'll preface it with this is really cool, and I wouldn't read something this long if it wasn't really awesome. So I just want to thank Tractor Beam for the email, and I'll read it to you guys real quick, and you guys can tell us what you think about it. So, hey guys, I'm loving the show. I wanted to provide a thought about Elden Ring that kind of goes against your thoughts you presented on those games last week.
Oh boy. Here
Yeah.
we go.
I think you're doing yourself and now your listeners a major disservice by not giving those games a healthy chance. And here is why. All right, so this is like a dissertation. Here we go. Souls
Here we
like
go.
games, especially made from Software, are always critically acclaimed. Look at Elden Ring, and it's no exception. Literally 10 out of 10 everywhere. Like, honestly, the game is the best reviewed game since Breath of the Wild. You know that, so you got to
Breath of the
believe.
Wild, dude.
Yeah, number 5 on my list.
Yeah.
So you got to believe that there's something good in there. As for difficulty, I think you are underestimating the reward. These games offer such a unique experience when it comes to overcoming difficulties and a sense of accomplishment. Most games nowadays give you stupid cosmetics for doing trivial stuff to make you feel special. We literally just
Wow.
talked about that for the last hour.
Yeah, we talked about cosmetics for a long time.
Yeah. Cool. These games stand as much more than that. Your achievement is solely based off of how hard you have to work to figure it out and improve. The self satisfaction is unrivaled. You guys are both fighter pilots, and I know the road to make it through that training could not have been easy. But look at what you've achieved by sticking through it. I know it's just a video game. I don't mean to over dramatize it, but I think you get my point. Lastly, you both said that you love a good story and an engaging plot. Well, these games push that to an extreme level. They feel almost like historical glimpses into a forgotten world. Oh, by the way, George R.R. Martin was involved in the writing for this game. To me, based on everything you guys have stated, I think you guys would love Elden Ring and the other Souls games if you can put in the time to get past the initial learning curve.
I
So,
didn't realize George R.R. Martin was a part of the writing
yeah,
team.
yeah, he was, which, depending on how you look at it, could be a good thing or a bad thing, but
Yeah.
based on what season of Game of Thrones you're into. But
Yeah.
cool. So he's Tractor Beam says, cool. With that being said, I am gifting each of you a copy of Elden Ring on Steam. Here's my Steam name. Send me a message, blah, blah, blah. I won't read that one. And I better get a fair review from you guys on one of these episodes when you're done. Don't thank me, just make me proud. Tractor Beam.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
He bought us each
A $60 game,
Elden Ring?
according to his email.
Dude. What?
Yeah. So, dude, Tractor Beam. Okay. Here's what we got to say.
That is
That
insane.
that is awesome. Number one, not
Oh
required.
my goodness.
Thank you. And number two, okay, maybe this convinces me to play this game that I know I'm going to be terrible at. So
I'll play it this week.
here's what I'll promise you. I will start playing Elden Ring and I will start streaming it so you can see how bad I am and if I get it any better and enjoy it at all. Uh, and another thing I'll do
Oh
is
man.
when I do finally get the Steam Deck, I'll try it on there and review it on there. So we're kind of reviewing two things at once. But Swift, what do you think?
Dude, that is
Are you going to play this now?
I well, I have to. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? That's like the coolest. I cannot believe that. Thank you so much. That is the coolest thing I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
We
Really.
we don't deserve it, obviously, starting off here. But dude, if that's actually a fact, I will play this game. I'm not very busy this week. I will play it a lot this week
There you
and
go.
just see how it goes. And
Yeah.
I will give you an honest review about. But again, I'm like Taze. I don't know. I'm not very good at these games. So I hope I really enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. And again, thank you. Because I'm excited to try it.
Yeah. That is so cool. When we started this podcast up, like all we were looking for was to spend some good times talking about video games and kind of seeing
Yeah.
where it goes from here. So it at least makes me feel like we're doing something in the right vein if we're getting that kind of support. So thank you, Tractor Beam. If that's one of you guys in the chat and you're not telling us who you are, I'm going to be pretty mad. But
Yeah,
I
you're in
haven't seen
trouble.
his name in there. But that's so cool. We will play the game for you. Can't tell you how long I'm going to play it, but I will tell you we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a fair chance.
I will give it my like a legit shot. I'm dude, I'm gonna be the one riding around. I don't know how this game works. I watched a little bit of it, but I'm hoping I'm riding around on a horse with a glaive just slicing up dragons in like the first 2 minutes. I probably won't be, but
Yeah,
uh
make sure
I'll
you.
give it a shot.
I know it has a extensive character customization, so just like we talked about today,
Oh, my character. Well, okay, so next week we're gonna post
what our guys look like.
our characters.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
so check us out, OMG_podcast on Instagram and Twitter for links to what those characters look like. And if you want to be cool like Tractor Beam and send us an email on your thoughts about the show or thoughts about gaming in general, or you just need someone to talk to about what the best cereal is, you can email us at omgpodcastgg@gmail.com and we will for sure get back to you and talk about your email in a later episode. Awesome.
Yeah.
I did, in case you
Please
guys are
email
wondering,
us.
I did not tell
Video
Swift
game.
about that. So,
Yeah, please email us. Video game donations not necessary, but we super appreciate it.
that
That
was
is
so cool.
amazing.
Cool, dude. That kind of gets us towards the end of the show. Let's go around the room, this virtual room that we live in. And
Yeah.
what are your final thoughts? What do you got for the crowd?
So I'm looking at chat here, wondering if we missed anything. I don't think we missed anything. Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Dude, I'm good. I
All right.
It was fun.
Well, you sound really good with that new mic. You look good with that new camera.
Thanks, buddy.
We're just really finding our stride. Episode 3,
That's
OMG
right.
podcast.
Yeah.
Really.
Elgato hit me up.
Sweet guys, you can reach us at OMG podcast or OMG_podcast GG on Twitter or OMG_podcast GG on Instagram. And for me, guys, I'll be streaming over on twitch.tv/theStroke. And you can also find Swift and Swiftmida at twitch.tv Swiftmida. You can find more episodes on Apple, Spotify, or anywhere else you find your podcast. And if you had a good time tonight, let us know on social media or email, and we're happy to bring you guys more gaming content. Just because you grew up doesn't mean you have to stop playing, and we are happy to be
That's right.
your number one stop for all things gaming in the podcast realm. You guys have a good night, and we will see you next time.